Hello and welcome to Hughes Ellard. My name is Gary Jeffries. 2010 research carried out amongst investors and managing agents on around 1,000 properties concluded you've all done very well. They found that 78% of service charge budgets and 69% of service charge reconciliations were delivered within the time period set out in the 2006 Code, Service Charges in Commercial Property. 5 years on, launched 4th of May 2011 and effective from 1st October, the new 2011 Code looks at day-to-day management and administration of service charges, but also assists those drafting and negotiating leases with a view to achieving a better and more deliverable bargain. There are 26 core principles which aim to improve general standards, promote best practice, fairness and transparency, the timely issue of budgets and reconciliations, and also providing guidance to solicitors in drafting leases and reducing causes for dispute. There is a best practice compliance checklist and a greater emphasis on alternative dispute resolution in dealing with disputes. Increasingly, market pressures and recent economic conditions have supported the aims of the Code, encouraging investors to seek businesses that rent premises not just as tenants but as customers. Incorporation of the Code within new lettings is relatively straightforward. However, the pace of progress towards a time when all leases will be Code compliant may not run smoothly. The Code comments on lease renewals and recommends taking the opportunity to modernise the service charge for the service needs of today rather than those thought appropriate 25 years ago. In practice, it is likely to be tenants that will request the incorporation of Code-compliant service charge provisions in lease renewals, but a tenant has two significant hurdles to overcome. Firstly, landlords will not be under an obligation to ensure that the service charge provisions are Code-compliant. It's probably sensible to assume that on the whole, landlords will try to avoid incorporation of the Code at renewal, so tenants will probably need to fight their case, and if necessary, take that fight to the courts. That seems a costly prospect, especially when the average tenant's negotiating power is limited and there is no guarantee of success. Secondly, the Code permits landlords to retain a certain degree of discretion. In fact, they can choose to ignore parts of the Code that they feel are inappropriate for their particular property and circumstance. It's questionable, therefore, as to just how much of the Code will be incorporated, even in a Code-compliant lease. Is this a great leap forward? Well, it's certainly better than nothing. But without being underpinned by legislation, it's doubtful that we'll see a huge increase in Code-compliant leases. In the absence of legislation, the only way to give the new Code legal clout is for the courts to determine that it is fair for a tenant to request incorporation on lease renewal. So, a test case, anyone? If you require any more information about service charges in commercial property, give me a call on 01329 220033 and I'd be delighted to help you.